Where has your imagination been hijacked by hurt feelings when you felt rejected or invisible? And how much has your life been shaped by protecting your heart rather than living courageously from your tender heart's call? And what might become possible through the healing of your heart and the reclamation of your imagination? This is the topic of today's Our Waking Dream. I'm your host, Coco Swanson. Each week on this show, I go over a basic astrology theme that's either moving through the week or, in this case, is moving through the next year and a half, because the nodes of the moon just changed. So astrology is an amazing compass. It's a map that points out the basic themes that are moving through our collective unconscious. What does that mean? It means we're already within the metaphor. It's already happening. When we bring awareness to what's happening, that increases our agency, our ability to create change in our own lives and in the world. This week in particular is a topic that's going to be with us from July 26th, so we're already in it. That's July 26th of 2026 through March of 2028, a year and a half. So the deeper we understand and practice what's indicated by the nodes of fate, the more that we level up on what we're here to experience. It shifts the dial on our destiny. So it's a pretty big topic when we talk about the nodes. This said, over on my website, I have a whole ecosystem of support. I integrate all of this into Leadership Studio, where we have meditations, somatic exercises, conversation, bi-weekly sessions live, where we're working this together in community. So there's more information on that and all my different offerings below. You can just scooch on over and be part of the newsletter if you want to stay informed. Let's talk astrology. The lunar nodes, they change every year and a half. They just shifted from the south node in Pisces and the north node in Virgo, and it shifts one sign on the zodiac every year and a half, making the south node, which is the point on the zodiac that we would really benefit from releasing and assimilating the themes, the patterns. That's the south node, where we're coming from. The north node is where we're going towards. So the north node, we benefit from trying and practicing and exploring through trial and error. So the themes of the south node are important to look at for our wounding, what we still contain wounds and need to learn from, to release and assimilate. The north node is our learning edge. We just shifted. Now we have the south node in Leo, the north node in Aquarius. This is a big deal because at a larger, we have a larger something within astrology called the March of the Equinoxes, which actually moves backwards. Same with the nodes of fate. And we're in the era of Aquarius, as Pluto has also moved into Aquarius, which we talked about last week. We've been talking about quite a bit actually this year. And so with the nodes changing, with the north node in Aquarius, it really points to Aquarius as a learning edge for us to explore both its easy attributes and its less easy, its more challenging attributes. So what does this mean? It means for me that we really want to explore Leo and how to heal anything within Leo and you that's ripe and ready for healing, and that we want to contribute and be a part of, well, the collective imagination, which is all about Aquarius. So let's talk Leo first. Leo is about the courage of the heart. It's about tribe. It's about us, but it's in a real heart sense, us. It's a very present sign when it's in its glory. So we think Leo in its glory has to do with a big open heart. What does that feel like? What does it feel like when your heart is open? Luckily, the signs of an open heart are quite obvious. We are more curious. We are more kind. We are more loving. We lead from a place of courage and compassion. What are the signs of a closed heart? There's constriction, fear, focus on self, needing external validation in order to shine your light. Leo, when it's in its detriment, is all about me, 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 me. Look at me. And really, it's in this show, I have a fill my cup and let it overflow. If our own hearts aren't filled, by nature, they can't give as much, because we can't give from an empty tank. So really taking the pulse daily on how your heart's doing over the next year and a half is a really powerful move during this time when we have the South Node in Leo and the North Node in Aquarius. So we want to release lower patterns within Leo. So attachment to recognition, leading through our ego, being more performative rather than being in service. So it's where our performance replaces our authenticity. It's the feeling of not being seen, not being celebrated. It's bullying, even subtle bullying. What are we doing to quiet our own light? And what are we doing to subtly, or not so subtly, quiet others' lights? So this is something to keep on the forefront right now, because the more we quiet our own light and others, the less access we have to our power within the heart. And the power within the heart comes through kindness, love, compassion, forgiveness, embodying our own like zany, cool selves. And so that's something that we really want to keep an eye on. The North Node in Aquarius. So when we have the South Node and the North Node, they're always opposite signs. And within the zodiac, the opposites also contain similarities. And where these signs are similar, it has to do with tribe. It's around community. They're both community signs. One is of the heart, and the other, Aquarius, is all about the collective mind, universal truth. We the people, for the people. It's universal truth, which in my opinion, oftentimes feels quite zany, because a lot of our systems that are created by good Aquarian minds, Aquarian's really good at systems thinking, but a lot of our systems are not for the good of all. So thinking outside of the box, which is known as an Aquarius trait, allows access to truths that pass the test of time, because we have a lot of janky systems down here on planet Earth right now. So Aquarius, it's building cultures that fit everyone. It's collaboration, interdependence, This relates to Leo in the sense that I have to fill my own cup and live my authentic truth in order to activate my purpose in the greater family of things. Has to do with contribution of our own unique gifts. And again, you see that connection over to the opposite side of the zodiac. We have access to our unique gifts when we have a curious, open heart, when we're in a culture that cares for ourselves and each other. You can feel the connection there? The journal inquiries that I suggest can be carried through the next year and a half. I'll put them in the caption below. Also, they'll be over on Leadership Studio where I'll be teaching through them. So unpacking them more, talking about them within community. It's how does my heart feel today, every day? Do I feel tender? Do I feel protected? Do I feel sad? Am I joyful? Am I grieving? Or am I experiencing a combination of all of that? The heart can experience many paradoxical emotions layered at once that are triggered by our life circumstances. What naturally brings me joy? This is an important one. You can reference what you were like as a little kid, or just throughout your day, noticing what brings you joy. Who else comes alive in similar ways to me? That's how we start to bring this into tribe. Who in your life lights up in the same ways that you do? How about on your thread if you're living more of a digital life right now? Who do you connect with on your thread if you're celebrating rather than comparing yourself to? Feeding my heart and imagination over the next 18 months. What do I notice becomes possible? And this can be how your imagination changes. Because we have to imagine something to create the possibility of something. And then the last piece I suggest is a command in your journal entry that says, I entrain all parts of me towards my greatest joy and service. I entrain all parts of me towards my greatest joy and service. Period. And it's a command that moves through your heart and imagination and starts to activate your heart's joy and your place of greatest service, which is an Aquarian piece. Really important over the next year and a half. Practice number 2 I suggest is an open heart audit. Our futures are as constricted or as open as our hearts are. Every day we have a chance to live with a more open, courageous, kind, compassionate heart. What I suggest is to notice. It's not some big grandiose practice that will change your heart. Each day we have an opportunity, each moment, to either live with a more constricted heart or to live with a more open heart. Step number 1 is to notice your heart. How does it feel right now? Do you feel constricted, fearful, sad? Do you feel curious, content, compassionate, open? If you're feeling fearful and constricted, your thoughts are more fearful and constricted. Your imagination is. Why not reclaim little moments where your heart feels open, courageous, and kind in order to facilitate a more open and courageous and kind mind and imagination? So step 1, throughout your day, you notice how your heart's feeling. Step 2 is you notice what naturally causes your heart to constrict in fear more and what naturally causes your heart to open more. Things that are simple, like smiling at somebody at the coffee shop, or letting somebody in on the road or in front of you in line that causes them to smile. Maybe it's when you smile at a child, or when you go outside and you're with trees. Like, what causes your heart to light up? Do that. Do that more often. And step 3, as you inquire and practice, notice what happens to your body, your emotions, and your imagination. Because simply by noticing and starting to engage in small acts that causes your heart to be more kind and courageous will train your heart and your imagination towards more circumstances that bring about more kindness, more compassion, more courage of your heart. Practice number 3 I suggest is about Aquarian dreaming. What has happened to your imagination over time due to the constriction of your heart, due to being fearful, and due to having a limitation on what is possible? We need to practice unleashing our imagination. In order to see new possibilities, we, all of us, need to start imagining possibilities that might seem zany and far-fetched and based in a series of miracles. Well, I suggest that's what life is. Life is a conglomeration of miracles, very much guided by our hearts and our imaginations. So combined with an open heart, our imaginations start to recruit more ideas, more circumstances, and people that feed possibility. The practice is simple. It helps us reclaim our imagination from fear. For Aquarian dreaming, I suggest practicing imagining what's beyond possibility right now. So step 1 is to notice what your heart lights up with. Then imagine best case scenarios beyond your wildest dreams. And this is the sort of dreams that, if anything were possible, what would give you the most delight? Then you start to notice. Feed your imagination on purpose. Scroll and notice others that might be imagining this too, or maybe they're already actualizing it, and you celebrate them. You collect possibility through conversation with others, sharing what you're imagining. What are you imagining? Best case scenarios beyond our wildest dreams. You recruit possibilities, recruit information that feeds that on purpose, and then keep dreaming. After I dream about possibilities, I always release it back to source. I poof back to source on purpose, because then my dreams are just food for the collective imagination, really important with the North Node in Aquarius. So for Aquarian dreaming, we are reclaiming our imagination. Zany, outside of the box possibilities that we need, miracles that we need in our own lives, in our work lives, and in the world at large. We dream big in ways that would take a series of miracles to take place in order to solidify those dreams. We dream and then we recruit information of possibility and release our dreams back to source. And that is the practice, as simple as that. So with the reclamation of our heart and our imagination, anything's possible. So this next year and a half, I'm excited to see what happens with us that are engaging with us and engaging with the healing that's necessary to redream and to recreate co-create an entirely different reality into existence. That's it for today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please reach out. I'm here for you. Until next week. Mwah. Thank you for being a part of our community here at Our Waking Dream. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Fill my cup and let it overflow. Let it overflow with love.